What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Finding Your Purpose. I hope everybody is good out there. I hope life is treating you the way it should be. And with that being said, I just want to remind everybody to please like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's get this thing going. I want to talk about this quick story, but I think everybody should be aware of this because it makes no sense. You have a young woman by the name of Sade Nunez, 21, out of New York. She had just turned 21, I'd say about 2 weeks ago. And so she went out of town to celebrate her birthday. She comes back to get back into the workflow, do everything, that she done on the daily basis. She calls her Uber, excuse me, to get picked up from work. And that was the last she was seen because something happened between her and the Uber and between her getting to her destination, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, the Uber driver, because she jumped out of the Uber. Well, to be Pacific, she jumped out of the window and she jumped into oncoming traffic. Well, another car was coming as she jumped out. So, in doing my research, I'm like, nah, something ain't right. Because since then, the police have closed the case and they're ruling her death accidental. There's no accident. No, no, no. I believe, now this is just me because this is just my thoughts on this. I believe she was trying to get out of harm's way. So she jumped out of the Uber, meaning I believe the Uber driver was trying to do some shit he shouldn't have been doing. And she couldn't get out. Hell, for all we know, he could have had the safety lock on. Because, see, when you drive like for Uber or Lyft or any of these, you're driving your own vehicle. I don't believe that they have, like, excuse me, I don't believe that they have, like, company vehicles. I think you're responsible for your own vehicle. And for all we know, the car could have been souped up. He could have had special locks, or he could have just had the safety lock on. But I do think she was trying to get out of harm's way. And I don't think it's right how this is just an open and shut case. No, I don't think this should be shut this quick. Now, I did kind of do some thinking after doing my research. I was like, okay, well, you know, she, she just turned 21, she's living it up, like she had just went and celebrated her birthday the week prior. So maybe she's still living it up. I was like, maybe she kind of smoked something and went off the rail from there. But then I'm like, no, because that Uber driver picked her up from work. So that couldn't be possible unless she was, you know, doing things she shouldn't have been doing at work. See, I try to look at all possible aspects before I, just set my mind in on one thing. But make it make sense. Honestly, I think she was trying to get to safety because I think that Uber driver was trying to, let's just put it in a nice way, do things he shouldn't have been doing. And she felt uncomfortable. And I believe he put the child lock on so she couldn't just open the door. And I believe she said, the hell with it. I'm going to jump. Because, hear me out, this is another reason I think that the Uber driver had something to do with it. Because why all of a sudden he's removed from like the Uber platform, the police, they're not mentioning nothing about that. Her family had to come out and put a post with the Uber driver's picture on it stating how they feel. Now, if the driver didn't do anything, why are the authorities trying to keep it on hush mode? No, no, no. And see, this is why I think whether you drive for Uber, Lyft, or whatever company, I think it should be mandatory to have cameras in your car because it keeps all parties safe. Now, I did do research. I looked it up to see if it was mandatory, and it's not saying that. It's just saying that Uber and Lyft and all the other companies, they can use like a dash cam in the car, but it's not saying that they do. So that's leaving me to think, well, it's optional. I guess you can get a camera like a dash cam, or but you don't have to. So I think they need to make this mandatory because this is not the first time I've heard some crazy stuff about Uber drivers and their passengers. I've even seen videos where passengers were crazy, like to go tearing up the drivers' cars and stuff. So I think it needs to be mandatory to have a camera, dash cam, or whatever for all parties involved because now you're starting to hear more and more unsafe stories. But yeah, this story is not sitting well with me because there is no, they haven't found a motive. and excuse me, and they ruled her passing accidental, and they just shut the case. This is not okay. In my opinion, you're just ignoring what went on. I don't think they're even trying to find the issue. Miss Nunez would not just jump out of a moving vehicle. Yeah, I don't. Who is just gonna jump out of a moving vehicle just to jump? No, there's a reason. There's a reason, and I don't think it's unfair. I mean, I don't think it's fair how the case is just closed. Her death is ruled an accident. No, I believe there was danger, and I believe she was trying to remove herself out of harm's way. But you guys, that's really what I wanted to talk about on this episode, because I don't think Sade should be ignored. She deserves justice as well as her family, and I do believe there's more to the story, and I believe the police knows more and that damn Uber driver knows more, but the case is closed, and I don't think that's right. With that being said, just keep Miss Nunez and her family in your prayers. I love you all, and remember, we are all designed for a purpose. Therefore, we all have a purpose. So if you have found it, stand in it. And if you haven't found it, it's okay. Keep searching, no matter how big, how small. We all have one. I love you all, and I'll catch you next week.